right, should we get going then?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Like a bass guitar.
Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults, the comedy podcast in which we discuss weird news, pop culture, and being middle-aged dads. Yeah. We are bitter, cynical Gen Xers saddled with crippling debt and depressingly past our primes. But that's what makes this podcast so much fun. Welcome to our 3-hour episode, everybody. What a special day.
Wow.
You guys didn't even know, did you?
I should have gotten an energy drink.
Poor Luke, it's an hour later there.
I got midnights tomorrow. It'll be good prep.
Okay, good. Well, welcome to our 4th episode, everybody.
Yay!
Jason, John, Luke, and me, I guess.
Oh, come on.
So
You're the
excited
best.
to be here. I am. I'm just the best, really. Well,
Your
hell,
hair's growing back really fast.
it does. Oh, my God. It's the worst. I can't. I should have just nared it. Yeah.
You got like the Jason Statham look going on now.
Now,
You
if only
do.
I could have the Jason Statham body, man. Whether for myself or just his. Wait, what?
Oh, in a freezer?
Oh, well, if that's the way it's got to be.
I didn't know we were talking about fantasies tonight. I feel ill prepared.
Well, so what's everybody been up to? It's been a whole week again. Well, Luke, it's been what? This is 3 weeks for you?
It's been like 3
3
weeks.
weeks, yeah.
4 weeks, something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good to have Uncle Luke back.
absolutely. Got some stories for us.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if you can find your.
Maybe.
He's like, oh crap, I was supposed to bring stories.
He's just along for the ride.
All the dead animals.
I told Zach, Luke better have some more dead animal stories. Even
There's a couple in there.
Even if you have to walk into a petting zoo with a rifle and create them yourself, that's what we expect of you.
Dear
You're just making
Lord.
more trigger warnings for Zach to record.
And I wish I wouldn't have said the word trigger. I should have said content warning because that's really.
Oh,
Oh well. Anyway.
Because the
Trigger.
word trigger is triggering.
Yeah. Yep.
no. It's gun related. So, you know.
I always hated that horse too.
Trigger. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go first then.
I wished
'cause,
you
know,
would.
Yeah. Because Zach asked me, he was looking at me when he said, "What you guys been up to?" So
How could you tell?
I just because you're looking right in the camera, yeah. So, I've had kind of a not an eventful week, but I've got some funny things that happened. One is it was windy AF on Saturday. I don't know everybody who lives in, I guess me and John,
Yes,
In
yes,
Utah.
it was.
but I live out in the boonies with long stretches of road, and apparently, an inexhaustible number of tumbleweeds. So I had to go to the doctor on Saturday, and I had to drive like 20 miles. And so on this straightaway, the wind was blowing so hard that there were tumbleweeds just kind of like assaulting cars. They're
Mhm.
like shooting off from the side of the road and just like hitting cars. So it kind of became one of those moments where I'm like, I've seen this before. I've practiced for this, all my hours in Mario Kart made me ready. So I was speeding up and slowing down to like avoid getting hit by tumbleweeds. And it felt good. It felt like I trained and now,
Mm-hmm.
it's my time to shine. So
Well, you
I
could
didn't get hit
drift
by
on
any.
Mario Kart. Did you drift in real life too?
I should have, but I didn't. But I don't think I got hit by any tumbleweeds. So, and my dog tried to chase one when I took her to the bathroom. That was fun. So, but yeah, land of the tumbleweeds is what we'll call my home place from now on.
Yeah.
You see where I work, right?
Yeah.
That it's surrounded by fields on all sides. When it's windy like this, it's like an old West movie. There's like tumbleweeds blowing by.
Yeah. Well, these ones are high speed, like assault
Yeah.
tumbleweeds. So, but yeah, it's yeah, I pass your exit every time I go into Salt Lake to your work. So, but but then apparently, my wife had one of those dreams where I cheated on her.
Hmm. So
You
you're
know how
sleeping
that
on the
is.
couch all week?
No, she was actually pretty reasonable about it because there was a funny part in the dream later on. Apparently, we were in a car and we pulled into a 7-Eleven parking lot. And in the dream, I get out of the car and I'm bare ass naked. And my wife Megan was like, "Get back in the car, get back in the car." But instead of jumping back in to hide my shame, I was starting to dance. She said, I was starting to like shake my ass, and just try and get all kinds of attention. And if you can imagine a 370-pound gentleman of myself, completely in the buff, dancing in a 7-Eleven parking lot. Um, she said she got really frustrated with me because I wouldn't get back in the car. But apparently, I was like swinging parts of my body around too, which was funny because I
Like
don't think I could do.
helicoptering it?
Yeah. So, which is funny because I don't think I could do that in real life. But anyway, so she got really, really frustrated with me in the dream because I wouldn't get back in the car and I was dancing naked in the 7-Eleven parking lot. So that,
Nice.
and then finally, um, I watched Fast and Furious 10 last night. Uh,
Is that the one where they go to space?
no, that's 9.
Okay.
So my brother-in-law wanted to watch them with us because he loves them, and at first I'm like, those are stupid. John can attest. Every time we saw a trailer for one, I'd make fun of it in the theater.
They're not bad individually, but they're all the same. If you've seen one, you've seen
Right.
all of them.
But they're fun. There's a kind of like fun to it, right? It's like a
Yeah.
turn your brain off and just
Hmm.
enjoy the ride kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, we'll watch this one. It's got Jason Momoa in it. And it turns out he is the only part of that movie that's actually enjoyable. He acts like the Joker. Um, he has like a tea party with corpses and it's just he's super funny, but the rest of it was a hot mess. And I went in with low expectations, and my expectations, I was disappointed. So pretty awful movie, and I heard it cost $350 million to make. So
We probably made more than
Oh,
maybe, I don't
absolutely.
know,
that
but
worldwide.
it has a cliffhanger. It's part one of two apparently,
Mhm.
and I
There's
didn't
going
know
to be
that.
more of them.
There's
Just
one
one
more
more, yeah.
coming.
They've said that for like 4 movies now.
Well, this one has a
I think like
cliffhanger,
when Paul Walker died, that was supposed to be the last one. They had like a
and it
tribute to
should have
him at the
been.
end of it. There's been
It
like
should have been.
three more since then.
Yeah, well, there's always money to be made, but
Yeah.
yeah. So we were laughing through the movie at the parts we weren't supposed to be laughing at. Let's just put it that way. So, and I really don't like Vin Diesel. I think he's ridiculous. So, but if he hears it, I've got to run and hide. I don't want him to hurt me. But yeah. So I had an action-packed week of dodging tumbleweeds, dancing naked, and watching Fast and Furious.
Nothing's more
Nice.
important than family.
That's what Megan said when she was trying to get me back in the car when I was naked. She's like, "I will disown you."
I'm surprised that she didn't, in the one where you cheated on her, where she was like, you attempted to cheat on me, but then you had to go poop. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think our dreams cross over. I was actually getting lucky in her dreams. So.
Well, right on. We always make Luke go last. Luke, why don't you go next?
Yeah.
All right. Man, you're gonna be so disappointed. Yeah, I pretty much just worked, and that was work. And yeah, I don't know. I well, went went up to my property today and brushed out probably a half mile of trails through the woods and found one deer antler, and I like to send pictures of where I find them to Zach to see if he can find them. And
It irritates
he
me.
found this one. This is the first time he found it. It only took 3 tries, but he got her. So that's
Like you knew where he found it just based on picture of an
I
antler.
send a picture, like when I see one, you just take a picture with take a
The
picture
whole
where you see it.
scenery. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the
So like it's
landscape.
just a picture of the ground, and it's like, hey, I'll just send it to him. Be like, where is it? I think he just kind of pokes until I'm like, yeah, you're close, and then he'll zoom in on that one part.
No, I'll zoom in. I take my time, man. I zoom in on that picture, but when it's sent, because he's got an iPhone and I've got an Android, so it doesn't send a full quality pic. It dumbs it down a little bit. So when I zoom in, it's so blurry, and I can't tell. I can't tell. Plus, I'm a city slicker. Leave me alone. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the hell out of it when you send those because it's like a.
Well, and this was a really small one, and it was. We've had. I think I said last time we've had a really warm year, so there was no snow, and it's been warm. And this one was stomped down into the mud and frozen in the ground, and there's only like just a little fork sticking up out of the ground, so it was hard to see. So he got it though. He missed the one that was, that I've got in the record book. But he couldn't find that one.
Yeah,
a little one. That's good.
I'm almost worth taking into the woods.
Yeah,
Almost.
You're getting there. Yeah, you might not
Do what?
That's between me and my cousin Luke.
Yeah, that's
Zoom out of these pics and see how many of them are really just dick pics.
Can't find it.
I see a tree.
A lot of shrubs around it.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. I did that, and then I guess I don't know what you guys do out west out there, but in Minnesota anyway, it's hockey state state hockey playoffs right now, and that's kind of like the Indiana basketball or Texas football, or it's like the whole state. It doesn't necessarily shut down, but it's what everybody does. So
yeah,
I've been watching a lot of high school hockey, which has been pretty fun. But
probably the same thing that they go through with when the Jazz are on a streak.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the crickets noise. I was looking at John. He said nothing.
I know, the only sport guy in here other than Luke.
It's a rebuilding year, so the Jazz
It's
being
always a rebuilding year.
It started in
the Jazz
98.
being on a streak is not really a thing. The rebuilding decade. No, they were good 2 years, just 2 years ago.
That was good.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Nothing too exciting.
All right.
All right, who's next? John, I guess.
Me?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I was
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. Oh my God. What's going on? Something must have happened.
Well, it sounds like that's time for the Florida Man update. March 7th, and this one actually happened today. A Florida man claims his airport bomb threat was just a poor attempt to flirt with a fellow traveler. 70-year-old Miami native Alan Barinsky told police he was just trying to be funny when he made a remark at a Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport about the bomb in his bag. He says he was attempting to flirt with the fellow passenger when he leaned over and told her, "If the bomb in my bag goes off prematurely, I apologize to your family in advance."
Dear Lord.
2 witnesses became alarmed and reported his comments to police. So,
That sounds
yeah.
like Jason's next attempt at a sex dream. That's how that's going to go.
It's going to explode, and no pun intended. Like, the bomb will go off before I get to third base. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay, Florida man.
So anyway, that's the Florida Man update of the.
Fantastic. Those just come whenever they want, apparently.
Be on your toes, Jonathan.
So you asked what I was doing this week, and I was actually bedridden for a couple days. I was violently ill on Tuesday, and still kind of sick yesterday, so I missed a couple days of work. It was explosive release of liquids from both ends.
Right on.
Oh, no.
It was very unpleasant. You know the worst part about explosive diarrhea? I mean, as opposed to all these good parts to it,
Like, what's the good side to that?
it's missing word, but
Losing weight.
yeah, it's not even like the burning or the dehydration. It's the PTSD that comes with it. Like, it takes days afterwards before you're confident enough to pass gas without making sure you're sitting down to do it. You're just not willing to take that chance, even a couple of days afterwards.
Truer words were never spoken.
The one good thing about being mostly bedridden for a couple of days is that you get to watch a lot of TV. So I binged the whole first season of that new live action Avatar show with my kids.
Oh, nice.
Have you guys seen that yet?
I've watched the first episode, but we haven't watched any more yet. Just haven't had time.
I liked it. You know, you read online, it gets mixed reviews, but I think most of the people who didn't like it had impossible expectations from the original. And it's not as good as the old cartoon, but that's a really high bar. It's light years better than the M. Night Shyamalan shit show, and I know that's a really low bar. But I thought it was a good happy median. Like M. Night Shyamalan, I hope they gave him a restraining order and threatened to arrest him if he came within like 100 miles of this production.
He was upset about it, actually. He said his was better.
He said that, really?
No, he really did.
That's funny.
The man, I don't know how he still gets work. He's one of my mortal enemies.
Yeah. But I thought this one was pretty good. Like, online, of course, people always complain about casting. That's just what people do nowadays. There's always the one side that says the new cast is too ethnic, and then the other side that says it's not ethnic enough or whatever. So
wait a minute. Isn't that world like all the people are Asian, right?
yes.
Yeah, like, so what's the problem? Aren't they just all, I mean, in the cartoon or in the live action, they seem to be all Asian too. So
yeah. Well, which side are you talking about? No, I thought that the casting was pretty much spot on. They look exactly how you'd think they should look.
Yeah.
Minor complaint, I thought some of the acting is only mediocre. You can tell some of the actors don't have a ton of experience. They're
like Katara.
Yeah, she was probably my least favorite. She's about the only one I didn't really like the casting of that much. Just because they made her too passive. The character in the original show, she's tough. She has an edge to her. She's sarcastic, and this one's just kind of, sweet and nice and until the very end. But
yeah,
everyone else, I thought they did a pretty good job of casting. So I was impressed. The kids liked it, and we're looking forward to the second season. It was renewed for the second and third season, so it's guaranteed to be finished now, which is always nice.
There's also an Avatar animated movie coming out. That's the sequel to the original series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be out
That's
late this year. So they're all grown up, basically. So
yeah,
so that's exciting.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I tried to watch that the animated version. I don't know, a couple years ago, I think, and I just couldn't, because I want to know what all the fanfare is about. Everybody seems to like it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
And so I was giving it a shot, and I looked it up finally. I'd gotten in like 7 episodes or something. I'm like, when does this get good? And I looked it up, and people were saying, yeah, it's kind of a slow burn, takes like 22 episodes to get, or something to that effect. And I was like, I don't have time for this shit. So
maybe watch the live action. You might like it better.
Yeah, and that's been the case with some other anime live action remakes. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like the Cowboy Bebop, and I don't have a frame of reference, but the show that I saw, the live action, was amazing. I thought it was great, and then that new One Piece was awesome. But I don't know anything about the originals, so.
I mean, if it entertains and you enjoy it,
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I go to the old folks' home and peep on the old women.
Yeah.
It entertains me, and I enjoy it.
Alrighty. So what are you up to, Zach?
Boss.
let's not let Jason elaborate much more on that point.
I do like your girl boss mug, though, Zach.
Oh, thank you.
You are a girl.
I found
boss.
it at a Savers, and I was like, well, I have to have that.
That's good.
I didn't give much thought to what I've been doing, and I apologize. I've been working on my show and tell all day and editing episode 3, so I didn't really. I spent at least 4 hours looking through a picture of land, looking for an antler. Couldn't find that fucking thing, but no.
Luke probably just like got that picture from like online. It's from someplace you've never been. It's from, like Virginia.
Or with you.
Nah. No, it's his land for sure. Because he even showed me because he didn't. Is that that antler you showed me the picture of given to your dog? Was that the same antler?
Yeah.
That's funny. Let's see. What have I been doing? I'll just cut all this extra stuff. So my Netflix is about to run out, March 21st or something like that. So I'm trying to get through 6 Feet Under. Any of you guys ever watch that?
Haven't.
Yeah, it's it's streaming on Netflix. It was originally on HBO, but that is an excellent show. What an awesome show. I've really been enjoying that.
Drama, action, comedy?
Drama. There's some funny stuff in it for sure. But it's more of a drama. You've not heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Oh, you've heard of it. Okay, you just didn't know what it was. Yeah, it's really good. And the amount of actors that you see in it, you recognize them, from things now. I mean, Jenna Fisher from The Office was in it. And, this was 2004, I think, when it came out, which doesn't sound that far or that long ago for us, but it really was. It was 20 years ago. It just doesn't sound right when you say that out loud. 2004, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I saw Jenna Fisher in Mean Girls, the new one, when John and I went and saw it.
She's
with
the
our
mom.
wives. With our wives.
Yes.
It wasn't just us.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a musical, and that's weird. But yeah, I couldn't recognize her at first because I used to lust after her. And
you lusted after Pam, not Jenna Fisher.
Yeah, that's true. And Jim. So
yeah,
but some really, really weird fantasies there. But yeah, I couldn't recognize her until later. I'm like, is that Jenna Fisher? You know? So
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's all I've been doing really is just watching shows, editing podcasts, and eating. I've been eating. It's called the Mediterranean diet, but it's not like a diet. It's just it's just foods that you eat. And it's basically like 7 to 10 servings of fruit and vegetables per day. And like, if you're going to have protein, it has to be lean protein. And it's like 50% vegetables and fruits, 25% starchy vegetables or whole grains, and 25% lean protein, preferably fish.
The sigh says it all.
No, it's not bad. It's really not. It was kind of how I was eating already anyhow. But I'll tell you what, the worst part about eating vegetables is the gas.
Taste, smell.
No,
The
well,
vegetables.
the smell of my gas. Yeah. No, the vegetables, they're fine. You put olive oil and some balsamic on it, and it's great. But
And cheese.
and pepperoni.
Maybe some melted chocolate.
And chocolate, yeah.
And some
Butter.
meat. And then remove the vegetable. Put
Yeah,
bread.
throw those
Between
away.
like 2 slices of bread and some roast beef.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
but
fat.
what's
That's I'm fat.
I've lost. Let's see. I started at in 2000. Let's say a year ago, I was at about 250 pounds, and I'm down to 220 now. And I don't do anything. Like, I think I shuffle a little bit faster when I'm really hungry to the kitchen, but other than that, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, thanks.
Great job.
Yeah.
Yep. You're looking quite svelte, is what I was going to say.
Well, you can only see from here up, so
That's why my camera's positioned that way. I don't want you to see my man boobs.
change it.
I'm not wearing a bra.
All right. Well, I heard tell that we've got a new segment coming.
Oh, embellish.
Well, I'm just going to start it. Oh, I'm too old for this shit.
Nice.
That's good.
That's yours. It's for you, Jason.
I know it's better than Danny Glover's, I think. So yeah, so I think I'd said something in the first season about how I downloaded TikTok as kind of to be ironic, you know? And then Then I started watching TikToks and I kind of got into it. And now, like every night before I go to sleep, I spend some time watching TikToks and sending them to people and being that guy. Um, and I can get on board with a lot of it. A lot of it's really funny, and I can appreciate some of what's being said. And of course, the algorithm is probably just showing me what I like anyway. But one thing that has come up a few times are these NPC videos. And I talked to my kids about this. I'm like, what is this? So basically what you have is a person, usually a young, attractive woman or women who stand there. And if you like pick certain emojis, they'll say certain things and they just do it over and over and over again. And it's the dumbest shit I have seen in my 44 and a half years on planet Earth. It's so stupid that it literally makes me angry. So I'm going to inflict this upon you. I've sent Zach a link,
thanks.
and he's going to share with us what I'm talking about, because it is the death of civilization.
I don't have to click this button. We don't have to do this if we don't want. Let's take a vote.
It's going to make me sound crazy. What's Jason talking about?
All right. Let me share the screen.
This is for
here.
science. This is for science.
All right. Where is my share screen? You'd think I'd have this figured out by now.
It's all right.
Well, yeah, share the sound.
You look like Jason Statham, though.
Coming from my computer as well. Yes, share the sound. Sorry, what?
I'm getting a little tingly because you do look like Jason Statham.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment because I think that man is a good-looking dude.
I'll let you be my beekeeper.
I just watched that. That was a good flick. It was fun. It was stupid.
And you can sting me.
Oh, no.
Hurry up and find it. I'm going to keep talking like this.
All right. Is it? You see it?
Yep, I see it.
Here we go.
Gang, gang, fire, fire, fire. Yes, yes, yes. That was good. Coconut. That was good. Coconut. That was good. Coconut. That was good. Coconut. Ooh. Oh, thank you, baby. You have the key in my heart. Oh, fire. Yes, yes, yes. Balloon. That was good. Coconut. Grab, 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 grab. Yes, yes, yes. Grab, grab, grab. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
What just happened?
It's good. We're done.
No, I know, but what was that?
What the hell was that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, okay. So I understand the concept because, and I know this just because I know this. I'm not admitting to anything. But I know in the adult world, there's something like this, the adult entertainment industry, where you pay and then cam girls do things,
Okay.
So don't look confused. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, no, I do now. I didn't understand what you were getting at, but
You were there.
well, I used to do it. I used to for money.
He was a webcam.
But I don't
I was a girl
understand,
boss.
So just understanding the nature of humanity, I understand why somebody might pay to have a girl on video do things, right?
Why would you have her do that?
Right, exactly. Like
Of all the things you could pay her to do,
right, and she's just doing
sounding like
dumb
she's
shit.
having a stroke. Why is that what you pay her to do?
And here's the real kick in the balls, right? She makes $10,000 a month doing that. That particular TikToker.
Wow.
Yeah. How do you feel about going to work tomorrow, guys?
I'm going to change jobs, obviously.
If she can make that much money, we can make twice as much, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be some weird sex thing. Why else would you do that? Like, what's going on? Is there like a code to everything? Like, somebody help me understand this because I can't wrap my mind around why the hell anybody would want to watch that.
We live in a simulation. It's the only answer.
I guess. There's a whole bunch of those on TikTok. If you're morbidly curious, you can go take a look. But holy hell, I hate this. I hate humanity. I hate this planet, and I'm praying for an asteroid. Anyway, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, you are. That's sad. I feel like I should play that again.
No, please don't.
Oh, not the video.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, for this shit. Sad. It's tragic, really. We are becoming those old men, you guys.
I love the violin in that. That's so good. It did perfectly encapsulates how I feel.
Yeah. Does
Anyway,
anybody have
thanks
anything? Oh, go
Thanks
ahead.
for listening.
Aw, that's all right, man. We got you. Anybody have anything before we start show and tell? Oh, story time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot. No, he says fuck. Yeah. Well, were you hoping we forgot?
I forgot.
Uncle
Hold on.
Luke's Story Corner. Hell yeah. Ladies.
It goes on. I've never heard that much of it. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, honestly.
Well, like I think I said this last time.
Oh,
My
there it is.
longer stories are probably gone, so these are going to be fairly short.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's gonna have to be.
Well, chip.
So when I was a little kid, I lived in this other town, and my mom was going to college to get her. I think she was getting art and FIED or whatever she was doing, and so she had all these art books at home, and I was probably 5 or 6, and I don't know, little kitty looked through it, but apparently I was a little hornball, so I was putting bookmarks in her books, her art books, anywhere there was naked, like, or anywhere I could see boobs or a butt or whatever, like, any sculptures or paintings. And so I was putting all these bookmarks in, and it never once came up. Like, I never, what I'm assuming is because my parents were still together at that time, and I don't know if that really necessarily led to the divorce, but I wonder if it ever came up in some of the arguments that they had, because I was only like 6 or 7 or whatever, 5. But I wonder if my mom thought my dad was putting those bookmarks in the book so he could look at like ancient Roman ditties or whatever, I have always wondered that, but I can't ask. So,
Oh.
so there was that one. Yeah.
What's funny, Luke, is now I know I'm not alone. We had some encyclopedias, and when I was 5, I found like an entry about Native Americans, but it was like these naked women like dancing, and I kept going back to that.
But you know all about that now. Like, you memorized the whole article.
I was only reading it for the articles.
Yeah, of course.
National Geographic. Do you remember the old National Geographics when they had like a special on Africa? There was some boobies in there.
Oh, there was lots of boobies. So, yeah. Anyway.
Oh man, I don't know if that'd be how funny that really is. Painful. Zach might remember this maybe from a Facebook post. Oh God, it has to be almost 10 years ago now, but I didn't do it, but I had a friend come over and we put a new like linoleum or whatever it is where it rolls out like for your floor.
Uh-huh.
To put a new one in the kitchen, and so I pulled all the pulled the appliances out and shit so we could put it in, and then I was moving it back in, and the oven door popped off as I was putting the oven, like sliding the oven back in, which I wasn't too worried about it, but I couldn't get it to go in, so I looked up the instructions. Or no, I take that back. We still had the instruction book that came with the house for that article. So I read through it, and it said how to put it in. Just stick the little tabs in there, bend it down, fold it up, like it's fixed. And so I did that, and I was wearing socks. I wasn't wearing shoes because I was inside. And as I flipped the door up, those little tabs didn't grab shit. And so that door flung out, and it hit me in the big toe, like straight onto the nail.
Oh.
And grenaded my toenail. And I had to hobble into the living room, grab clippers. I didn't even take my sock off. because it was all
Oh.
pokey. I already knew it was bad because the sock was pokey. I came back and like pulled the sock off. It took a couple pictures, and then I clipped all the chunks of nail out, and it shattered probably a third of my nail. And there was one really important instruction that they didn't put in there, and that was that those little tabs had to be, you had to take a breaker bar and snap them, like put a bunch of torque on them and snap them down and extend the spring and make it lock into place. Then when you put them in the little dealie and put it up, it locked it in. But it didn't say that anywhere on there. And so it just completely destroyed my toe. It was awesome.
I love how you had like your first instinct was to take pictures of it.
Well, I knew it was bad. Like it was, I mean, it hit my foot and I didn't feel anything.
Oh,
And
no.
I knew it was bad because it hit me right directly into the toenail. And it was like, that doesn't hurt at all. I'm like, I touched it and it was all like prickly.
Oh,
like,
no.
straight up and down.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
And I probably cursed a lot, but you know,
Did you
I
post
have to
the
cut my
pictures?
toenails for a while.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you post the pictures
you-
online?
you guys
Yeah,
cut
I
your
put-
toenails?
I thought I did. I thought I posted something. This was quite some time ago. It's probably what years ago? It's probably like 18. Somewhere in there, 18, 19, somewhere in there. It was, yeah, it was, Christ, was it? Oh, it might even be before that. It might even be like 14, 15. I can't remember. I think it might have been before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might have been like 14, 15, something like that.
I'm on the case. I'll see
I
if
can probably
figure
find
it
the
out.
pictures if you can't find them. I don't know if I can find them right now, but I can send them to you if you really want to see my busted toenails.
Well, I thought about posting it, but then I just remembered I read Spotify and maybe even YouTube's rules about gore and stuff like that, and maybe I better not. I was gonna
Yeah,
share
it
it
was.
though.
If you don't like, busting your fingernails to where they bleed, then that would probably make you upset.
Just put a cartoon of like a swollen toenail, toe.
Yeah,
Just say it's the real picture.
this is the big throbby.
The where's like red and like pulsating. Yeah.
And then I guess because those are two pretty short ones, and we have to. I heard there was a lot of requests for dead animals,
Yes.
so Zach came up. He wasn't here for this, but the place that Zach came up and visited at, there's this lake property we have friends from Colorado that have a lake property, and so we're out at. I think we were. See, this is the one part I can't remember. I can't remember if we were either getting it ready for winter, or if it was in the spring and we're getting ready for summer. But regardless, we were. There's a sauna right on the lake, and went in to kind of pull. We must have been getting it ready because I think we were pulling stuff out, and it smelled musty in there, and it was like, oh, Jesus Christ, like someone must have left a wet towel or whatever. And I, pulled the door open, and sure as shit, like there was one of those blue Rubbermaid tubs that they put water in so you can throw water on the stove and make steam and stuff. And there was I saw a dish towel in there or like a hand towel or whatever. I'm like, yeah, see, there it is, fucking hot towel. And so I grab this bin and I just kind of half sling it out the door to my friend, and he grabs it and it's already sloshed and kind of getting on him. And he starts doing the erp thing. And I was like, it's just a mildew towel, right? But it wasn't, apparently. It was a squirrel that in there over the winter and then drowned. And all of the hair had, because water's kind of, I don't know, it erodes everything. So all the hair had fallen off. And so that rag I saw floating around was actually a desiccated, naked squirrel that had been floating around in there for who knows how long. That was pretty awesome.
Oh no.
That's my dead animal story for the week.
You never disappoint.
Uncle Luke is scary.
Well done.
Oh man. That's awesome. Well. And now it's time for show and tell. right. Who wants to go first today? Right on, I'll go.
I was waiting for you to play the crickets.
I don't have that anymore. It's been taken over by some other things.
That's all good.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sticking with my thing because I've really been enjoying providing random facts to everybody.
It's educational and fun.
Right, exactly. More tornadoes occur in the United Kingdom per square mile than in any other country in the world. And you guys know what I've always said. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are the Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska of Europe. I've always said that. The oldest unopened bottle of wine was found in a Roman tomb that was over 1,650 years old. The woman who opened the bottle to taste the wine reportedly had this to say, gross. They
say it gets better with age.
Not this one, I guess. In a tragic coincidence, after tasting the wine, every single person in her immediate and extended family received a court summons regarding their unpaid Columbia House membership bill. So those ancient Egyptians, they knew what they were doing.
It was only 2 pennies. 2 pennies.
Yeah, 12 albums, 2 pennies. I did one of those once. It worked out just fine. Only official members of federally accepted Native American tribes may legally possess or collect eagle feathers. I had to look that up because I was like, that sounds silly. It sounds like something a kid would say and we'd all believe it. But no, it's true. If any other citizen has one, it is illegal. The advent of 23andMe has led to a rise in pretendians demanding recognition and to be allowed to collect 1/16 of any eagle feather they find. Jason.
No.
I know, you're like half, but...
I'm entitled to half of the eagle.
All right. By the time they have been retired for 2 years, 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or are under financial stress because of joblessness or divorce. Researchers are beginning to suspect joblessness and divorce are the causes of traumatic brain injuries rather than the previous suspect receiving a plethora of concussions.
Travis Kelce's heading down that road.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
In order to protest the high tariffs enforced by a UK censorship board, a filmmaker sent in a 10-hour movie of white paint drying. They had to watch the entire film. And that was the BBFC, which is the British board that rates things. One board member who was involved in watching the film has been quoted as saying, "I'd rather watch a trilogy of paint drying films if it could remove the memory of sitting through Love Actually from my brain." Only they said it in British. All right.
So sarcastic.
There is a village in Russia called Sufra where every resident can tightrope walk. Not a joke. I looked it up. It is a tradition that dates back over 100 years, but no one knows how it started. Suvra's population has fallen from around 3,000 in the 1980s to below 400 today, but all of those who remain are able to walk the wire.
They drive you out if you can't or refuse to.
I imagine, because if they
chase you out with torches and pitchforks. And...
Yeah. I would normally have a joke attached to this, but this is the one I just realized I forgot to finish. So that's that's just a random fact for fun. Chewing gum boosts mental proficiency and is considered a better test aid than caffeine. Later research investigated the gum advantage. It turns out to only show an increase in performance during the first 20 minutes of testing. Researchers have since given up finding better test aids and have stated everybody should just go back to doing drugs. There's a bar in Yukon that serves a sour toe cocktail. Have you guys heard about this?
Yes.
No.
You have? Okay. It consists of a shot of whiskey with a human toe floating in the glass.
What?
An estimated 60,000 people have had it. I don't know how, it might be more now, but I came across this information while searching for a very particular type of feet pictures. But do you know anything about that one, Luke? You were saying you heard of it. Do you know any?
I had seen it quite a few years ago. Actually, there was I'm sure it was Facebook or something, but it had come through, and yeah, it's just a little kind of wizened toe that bobs around.
I saw a picture of it. I should have.
Is it one toe that they put in each one? They recycle the same toe.
Oh, yeah,
do they have a freezer with 60,000 toes in it that they drop in each one?
It must.
I don't know.
It's the same toe.
Where are they getting these toes?
A lot of people have missed it.
It's the same toe, but gross. That's all I have to say about
that. I like how you found it, though. Didn't you say you were searching for particular kinds of feet pictures?
No. Did I say that out loud? In Japan, Domino's started testing pizza delivery via reindeer in 2016. I kind of remembered this. When asked, the Domino's CEO stated that test groups chose the reindeer delivery system over the giant tentacle delivery system. Gaming-related accidents increased by 26.5% during the first 5 months of Pokemon Go being released. This included 2 deaths and $25.5 million in damages. In a bizarre coincidence, these exact same statistical increases were seen when pornography became available on VR headsets, right, Jason?
I told you, man. I can only... Oh, I guess that does make sense. I can only stand it for 10 minutes.
You get nauseous. Yeah, I remember you talking about it. You get headache, nauseous. Yeah.
Did you see all those memes that hit when Apple released their VR? It's like a bunch of guys like saying, this is so great. And in the background, there's like a box of tissue and like lotion. It's just like right in the background. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. Helen Keller was related to Robert E. Lee. Her paternal grandmother was second cousins with him. When asked about her feelings regarding Lee's decision to resign from the U.S. Army and join the Confederates, Keller had this to say. I feel like
even knowing that was coming, it was still hilarious.
I felt like an asshole. All right. During the 1908 Olympics in London, the Russians showed up 12 days late due to the fact that they were using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. Later, as the Russian teams returned to their country and were shamefully shuffling off the boat, a bunch of dudes named Gregory were shouting things like, "We fucking told you, dude," and "Julian, these punk bitch." Nonviolent
history.
Isn't it great? Nonviolent attempts to escape Mexican prisons are not punished because, quote, "it's human nature to want freedom." So I'm just imagining when the guards catch you, they're just like, "Oh, come here, you. Tousle your hair. You little goober. You were so close this time. So close."
So close. Nice
You'll
try.
get it next time.
All right. If you cut a starfish, it won't bleed. It doesn't have blood. Rather, they circulate nutrients by using seawater in their vascular system. So next time you have a canker sore, consider a warm starfish nutrient juice rinse.
I will.
All right. Disappointment Island is an island in New Zealand that remains uninhabited. The only thing living there is 65,000 pairs of white-capped albatross. In 1868, a steel tanker crashed on the island, which killed 68 people, leaving the 15 survivors waiting 18 months to be rescued. In 1907, another ship ended up crashing there and 12 men drowned. And finally, in 1979, 2 women on an expedition to the island inexplicably found 2 babies on Disappointment Island and each decided to adopt one. In 2021, these 2 babies, now adults, founded a podcast with their friend Zach entitled Dysfunctional Adults. You guys are disappointments.
That's why you were asking when we were born.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
All right, last one. Batman and Predator exist in the same fictional universe. Since 1991, they have been featured together in multiple comic books. And I'm sorry to spoil the ending, but Batman wins by enlisting Chris Hansen and his crew to lay a trap for the Predator that he just can't resist. And I have a sound clip from it.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. You are a fast mover. Please have a seat right there.
The end.
Did you make that?
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Thanks.
That's what happened to Chris Hansen.
Yep. The show just went off the air, and that was the last
he's
episode.
gone. I'm just picturing the little triangle laser sight thing like going on his head, and then it's over, Oh, I love that movie, that first one.
The first Chris Hansen movie?
Yes. No, Predator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a great film.
Classic movie. So.
Yep. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
So I love reviews, especially movie reviews, especially funny movie reviews. And so I found several pretty insightful reviews on cheeseburger.com for Amazon movies that were bought on Amazon. So I'm just going to read a few of them.
Fantastic. We haven't had a good review we used to do those in season 1. We haven't had a good one in a while.
So this is for Taken 3, and it's 5 stars. It says, "The vengeance of a dad's love. Praise the Lord." This movie kept me on my seat through the whole thing. The Vengeance of a Dad's Love. Praise the Lord by Billy Crone. Mad Max Fury Road. It's 1 star. Expecting Max to get mad. Didn't happen. Sorry, let me get my stuff together here. 50 Shades of Grey.
Ooh.
1 star. There isn't even any butt stuff. Jumanji. 1 star. I am a substitute teacher in a middle school. I brought Jumanji for the kids to watch on Monday, and when it came on the projector, there was no sound. I don't know why she decided it was Amazon's fault.
Right.
Frankenweenie, 2 stars. I have doxies, and the dog did not look like a doxie at all.
Stupid.
Life of Pi, 1 star. It says misleading. I screened this film for the students in my 9th grade algebra class and was very upset. But
I don't.
Life of Pi.
Pi.
Oh dear.
Pi,
Lord.
3.14 something.
Yeah. National Treasure, Book of Secrets, 5 stars, all caps. Nicolas Cage is a good actor in this movie. You actually almost doesn't recognize him with his glasses on. I read it verbatim. She wrote doesn't recognize him. Doesn't. Yeah. 1 star for Titanic. My stupid friend watched this on Saturday night when he was logged into my Prime account. Adam, Titanic by yourself on a Saturday night? Really?
How many stars was that?
That was only 1.
Oh,
So it's not even the person who watched the show.
right.
He's rating his friend for watching it on his
Right.
Amazon account alone. Cinderella, the 1951, 3 stars. This is a fairly good movie, but what about the mouse Gus? From the way he acts when Cinderella is talking about the ball, when he first meets her, you can tell he's obviously gay.
What?
Monsters Inc. 1 star. Too many monsters.
I mean, you expected a couple monsters, but that was nothing but monsters.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. 5 stars. Subtle, provocative, a tour de force.
Yep.
The King's Speech, 2 stars. I felt a disconnect with Colin Firth's character, so I couldn't fully get into this film. I'm sorry. I just don't have the patience or time to deal with people who stutter. It's annoying, and I feel that they should just not try to speak. They should just write things down on paper.
Wow.
It would take so much longer. I mean, if you don't have patience for someone to stutter, are you going to have patience to have someone stand there and write something out and hold it up every single time? My guess is no.
Yeah.
So Despicable Me, 4 stars. Kids like it. I was iffy at first, but it kept them busy while I was cooking the meth.
Awesome.
And that's gonna be it.
All right.
Nice. All right.
Are you guys gonna like Rochambeau for it?
His is always better, so I should probably go first. Don't want to end up like crap. Um, I don't have a lot. I'm really bad at internet things, but I found some bad flavors of things. So
Good.
the the one that I found was kind of weird is Pizza Hut in Japan has a snake soup pizza.
Ew.
I would try that.
It sounds kind of gross. It is exactly what it sounds like. I've never had snake soup, but apparently it tastes just like snake soup. It mimicks the texture and the gumminess of the
No.
Snake is quite rubbery. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the best pizza, but apparently they love it over there.
Oh.
Yeah. So there was that one. And then I actually shared this, I think, with you, Zach. Come on. All right. I can't do my phone, apparently. You can do it. Come on. There you go. All right. So there was I thought it was a joke, and so I looked it up. It was probably on Facebook, or maybe I was on TikTok or something, but you guys have probably seen it, but it was the venison flavored whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I looked it up and it's real. And so they have a red deer venison. It's combined with all this other stuff and stewed down, and they make whiskey out of it. And they have a couple other, like that it sounds pretty gross, but it doesn't sound like the worst thing you could have. But they also have crab trapper. So they use the green crab population because it's an invasive species, and offers a subtle crab and coriander aroma.
Oh boy.
To your whiskey.
Try heating it up for a tasty treat on a cold night.
Yeah, that one sounds really gross. And the next one is pretty good too. It's the Eau de Musk of Castorium whiskey. So it's made with the castor glands out of beavers.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, it is. And so because it'll sustain, according to them, they work with licensed trappers to manage the population and sustain the local ecosystem. So it's it's a good thing. And it
Are
so they
those the
source
beavers
this
like
bourbon's
anal glands?
castorium sacks, which would otherwise be discarded. So I mean, it would have been wasted. And if they didn't use them, you wouldn't have been able to enjoy the castor gland flavor, which imparts a leathery raspberry flavor that enhances it. So,
Oh,
Yes. No.
yeah.
Okay, look.
So,
Would any of you try if he had all of these bottles and we were all hanging out? Would you not try any of them? Well, let's say they were non-alcoholic, just to know what the flavor
I was
is.
gonna say I
Because
totally
that's what's preventing us from doing it. Yeah.
Just saying, I'm
I would
taking away
totally
one
drink this
reason.
beaver castor oil sack drink, but I don't drink alcohol, so I can't.
I had to
Totally
take away
yeah.
your excuse. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's what's preventing us from drinking it.
yep.
yeah, I bet they taste awesome. I think the smell would probably be all you would need to really appreciate it. And they have one last flavor. I should have read this one first. I was just going down the list, but this one is the Saison de Froid or something, apple brandy. But it's infused with smoked trout.
Ooh.
So it contains trout roe, which is the eggs, and Yeah, and then it's I've never had this, so it doesn't mean anything to me, but it's reminiscent of a boba tea.
Oh,
Is all
yum.
that is. So
I could just
yeah.
imagine at work, they're complaining that Zach heated up fish in the microwave at work again. And it's like, no, he's just drunk on trout
Yeah,
whiskey.
he's making a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got. So
I think the venison one, I don't know. To me, it sounds like it would pair well, but that's just me.
they had another one and I couldn't find it tonight, but I swear to God, when we were texting even, I thought maybe even sent it to you. I thought they had one that was like a turkey dinner.
Yes, I think I have it.
Maybe it wasn't a whiskey. Maybe it was in there like their brandy or one of their other like lines of drinks.
Right.
Because they make a lot of normal stuff. They just have this one weird little branch of weird stuff.
They had some extra barrels. They're like, well,
Yeah.
they found a squirrel in a.
There's some beaver sacks in there.
What's that? See if I can find it here. Nah, I don't think I can.
Those are like beaver's anal glands, right? Is my
Yeah,
understanding.
pretty much. I think
Yes.
didn't they used to use it to do vanilla ice cream?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then perfume, I believe.
You smell like beaver ass.
Why, thank you.
Oh, maybe you smell so good right now.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Luke, there he is.
The leaky beaver's asshole. Ah, yeah.
You have an earthy aroma.
It smells like a leathery raspberry.
Here we go. Deer Slayer. Yeah, you said there was a turkey dinner one. You didn't send me a picture though, so I can't share it.
Pick.
No.
Okay, I bet it was one of their like brandies or something different. It probably wasn't in the whiskey section or whatever the hell section I was in.
All right, John, it's all up to you, buddy.
All right. Well, I just have a couple of animal ones.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Hey.
All right, sorry, that was rude.
But they're not just any animal ones. They're animal ones that will hopefully change your view of a few things. You might see things in a different light, a less savory light. Okay, sea monsters. Where do you think the old legends of sea monsters came from? Well, molecular ecology professor Michael Sweet, who teaches at the University of Derby in England, shared his own theory and offered a new fascinating explanation for the mythical stories of sea monster sightings in sailors' lore. He said, back in the day, travelers and explorers would just draw what they saw. This is where many sea monster stories would come from. Sweet went on to explain that sailors glimpsed tentacled and alien-esque appendages emerging from the water that led them to imagine a sinister creature lurking beneath the surface. You know, they'd think it was like the neck of a sea serpent or the tentacle of a kraken or something like that. However, he said, in most cases, it was probably just whale dicks.
Yeah.
As he explained, whales often mate in groups. So while one male is busy with the female, the other male just swims along and pops its dick out of the water while swimming around waiting for its turn.
Orgy?
Said, everyone's got to have a bit of fun, right? Seen as blue whales have penises that can be up to 10 feet long and weigh 900 pounds, it makes sense if a sailor saw that, they might think it was the neck of the serpent or the tentacle of a giant octopus or something. So, yeah, next time you see a picture of a sea monster silhouette, it's probably a whale dong.
Wonder how many small boats got sunk by some big whale dick just smashing them by accident.
Right.
Just goes down the ship.
I saw Nessie, and Nessie was puking. She must not feel well.
There's. You know how much of that they could release at once? A lot.
A lot.
It's never crossed my mind, but yeah. Do you have a number?
It says each testes weighs about 150 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I don't have the number in front of me anymore, but I did read that when I was looking up that story. So. look it up. It's a lot. Another one that might be even less pleasant. Zach, this is one you sent us in the group chat a couple weeks back. Remember that one?
Nope.
Well, for people who are big wildlife fans or big into conservation, they might be familiar with the conservation success story of the peregrine falcon. I mean, we've all probably heard that they were nearly extinct back in the 70s, and then now they're thriving. They're one of the biggest conservation success stories in the last several decades. But what you probably haven't heard is how exactly the captive breeding programs worked. Basically, it's a falcon sex hat, a species-saving hump helmet.
What?
Yeah. The original headgear was invented by falconer Les Boyd in the early 1970s, serves as a sperm collection device that allows captive birds to mate with their keepers. So yes, we literally brought a species back from the brink of extinction by letting its members bone the conservationist's head to completion again and again and again.
Wow.
Falcons, like most birds, they bond by imprinting. Like the first moving creature they see when they're born, they attach to. Usually that's the mother, but in captive species, it's whoever's taking care of them. So conservationists made sure they imprinted on them, developed a trust with them, and eventually an attraction to them. That's when they invented the falcon copulation hats, as they're officially called, which is a rubber hat that looks like half a golf ball full of little divots to catch their seed, and with a wide brim. When these falcons are sexually mature, they will land on the hats and go to Pound Town on the conservationist's head, and the little divots in the hat will collect the semen, which can then be withdrawn with a syringe, then used to artificially inseminate the female falcons. So, yeah, the peregrine falcon was saved by conservationists letting it go to town on their heads and collecting the semen it left in their hats. And in case any of you were
wearing a cum hat.
in case any of your anniversaries were coming up, falcon copulation hats are still selling on Amazon for around $200.
All right.
Well, I do have to go get tested for my fertility. Do you think they'll have me like do that with a hat?
It's possible. We're live streaming that anyway, so we'll know the answer.
Or rather, like when you hand back the little like jar they give you, just hand back like one of those hats full and say, "There you go."
You know, if you
Full
can't
of
afford the
dish soap.
hat, because that is pretty pricey, you could always just like tie a few waffles to your head, just kind of.
It seems like there'd be an easier way with those birds since they're all essentially tame.
I think
It's not
there
like you're
probably
walking
is.
around with that hat getting attacked by some wild falcon up in your head. I mean, it's
I think
yours.
there probably is, and this is just what they prefer.
This is a whole different
I mean, you
version
could-
of grooming.
You could probably put the hat on a counter and it would work the same way.
Turned on by bad haberdashery.
But they prefer to wear it, collect the samples.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's how the peregrine falcon was saved.
Well, those
next
people
time
are
you see them,
heroes.
think of raptor cum hats, and here you go.
I'm gonna try not to think about it after tonight. So
It's one of those things you can't unhear. If I'm ever hiking and I see a peregrine falcon, I'm just gonna start giggling and immediately take off my hat and like put it under my shirt just in case.
Hey, I mean, aside from the use that it goes through, that's a pretty cool style, though. Like, I'd wear that. It's nice. It's a good look.
constantly
$200.
attacked by birds.
So that's all I have.
Right on.
You'll never see sea monsters and peregrine falcons the same way again.
Nope.
No.
I
And
know what
looked up
Nessie
whale
was.
penis.
Think how big your hat would have to be for a whale.
What's that? I missed it.
Whale copulation hats.
Oh, for a whale.
Save the whales.
Those are the true heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your entire show and tell, John, is something I'm just going to have to put right next to my National Geographics for later, I guess.
Zach's like, I love the tribe of East Rwanda.
And peregrine falcons.
They're my favorite.
Well, thanks for joining me, guys. That was fun.
It's
It
over.
was.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll do it again next week. We don't have a
All right.
choice.
Excited.
I got nothing else to do.
I'm so excited that I could go to town with a hat.
All right. You could just hand them. Never mind. Yeah.
We'll brainstorm about this later.
All right. All right, guys. Well, have a great night.
You too.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
You as well.
Bye.
Did Luke just sign off?
Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, well, bye.
He gone.
Bye.
Or like a screw you guys and saw the middle fingers go up. And we just go on.
I saw him put on one of those hats, and I was like, oh, he's got to go take care of his bird.
He wants alone time. I understand.
It's an amorous night. So.
That was good.
Sweet.